Happy December 11th, Floss Tube. My name's Geraldine. This is my channel about cross-stitch knitting and crafty things. It's day 11 of me coming to you with daily videos, updating you on the two Advent stitch and knit alongs that I'm doing. The first one is the Frisian Band Sampler Holiday Countdown collaboration with Evertote, Roxy Floss Co., and Modern Folk Embroidery. And then I'm also knitting a gnome with a pattern. It's a mystery knit along by Imagine Landscapes. The designer's name is Sarah Shira. So with that, I have daily packages that I open for the cross stitch countdown for the gnome knit along. Some days I have every day I have a clue. Some days I have packages to open, and those packages came from the Loopy U as a partnership with Sarah. So I have opened my day 11 for the holiday countdown, and I will insert that video now. Okay, let's check out my stitching for day 10. I didn't see it when just looking at the pattern, but like these look like poinsettias. How fun is that band? I love all of these bands, but this one is just a little bit Christmassy, but I think overall the piece still doesn't scream Christmas, but it's just enough Christmas to feel like a fun Advent. So I did this Rudolph and Tenenbaum stitching down on this band here. I got my trees in, and the birds have feet and beaks now. This bird, so when I went to put in this tree here, I noticed that my bird was one stitch too close, or too close to the edge, so too far from the heart. So I put in the tree and then decided that, yep, I really did need to pull it out. So I pulled it out and then redid the bird here, which was actually a little bit quicker once I had the tree as reference and I could count, because I stitch left to right when I sew in hand. So anything that I can work from the left is a bit easier. I also had noticed from someone else's picture that I was missing my little, like, this is Polish Chanel accent here at the top of that petal. So I got that in there. And then the red, did I do those yesterday? I feel like those were yesterday. They look almost, it's interesting that, they look kind of pink here because they're kind of hanging out with, it's a little bit more red, but just with my lighting today and kind of next to that other pink, they're kind of pulling the more pink that color. So great progress. I'm getting excited to see what's next. It feels like we're gonna have to move on at this point potentially, because there's really not a lot of space in here. Yeah, we'll open this one. So make sure I get it right. Day 11. Here's the pattern. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Merry and Bright is the floss color. Look at the variegation in this. It's like strawberry shortcake color. There we go. That's super fun. I said super a lot yesterday, so I apologize for that. Okay, so we have a new band, and our sampler size is 110 crosses high. So we are at the bottom of our band after we're done today. And there's like some, ooh, that's fun. So the band goes here. There's a solid line. Wait, no, this is our solid line here. So we keep that line with the white, and then we're adding in what look like some of these accents. So the pattern is looking like the needle minder here. I almost showed the pattern. So I'm filling it, so some of the shapes are like these pink shapes here in the center, and then there's other more like, I don't know, geometric-y looking accents. So someone on Instagram this morning had pointed out the details in the needle minder, and so I hadn't taken the time to really look back since I had opened the needle minder the first day, but yesterday we stitched our birds, right? They look just like that. And so then this band down here is maybe what this day 11 and beyond look like. Caroline in her video yesterday mentioned something about paying attention, and now I can't remember. I don't think it's day 12. I mean, we have there's going to be more stitching than what we have for today down in this band, but like day 13 or 14 maybe, like there's extra attention, or maybe if you're confused to wait, I have a feeling it means that we're like moving on and wanting to make sure that we set up the next stitch correctly. So I'm excited to get that stitching done and then see what else I have time for today. Talked about yesterday that my Imagined Landscapes gnome like bonus pattern was a present. I did just get one box done. It was just a little bit of a learning curve. It doesn't seem like a lot of knitting, but there's a decent amount of knitting here, and I can do a little bit better, but I had never, no, I don't, it's a JMCO. I don't remember what that's called, but it's like a way that you bind on that like attaches these together. So you're like knitting in the round, but like you start with a strip. So that was a new way to bind on for me. It took a little bit of time to get that down. And then I think I have like some gaps here because I was trying to feel out like how many rows I wanted to get done before I switched to 4 DPNs. And so I think I just didn't pay as close attention to really filling to tightening the connection areas here, but it makes a really pretty pattern, like a box shape. And then, there's a piece of, we're supposed to put cardboard in here. I received my Modern Folk Embroidery booklet yesterday, and they come in like a really nice cardboard, like thick cardstock type envelope to keep them from the mail from bending the patterns. And so I used a piece of that for the bottom. Now the top, we didn't like, oh my gosh, because we put cardboard in it, we couldn't block it. And so I don't know, right? Like it's a little, she said to just kind of pinch it and pull it. It's meant to be stacked. So I think like once I have my other stacks on there, it'll like flatten out and look a little bit more present-y. But again, this is like my first shot at this. I'm sure like it will get better with time. I had a little bit of issue counting there. But yeah. And then we did I don't know if it's a standard bind off or what, where you have your 2 needles next to each other like this, right? And then you like, I'm going to do it wrong. You purl and then you like knit and then you come back and you bind that one off and then you like knit, purl, like the way that you weave it through. I have to like watch the pattern every time. I think I've even seen like little like key fob things or like little notions that you can get with the bind off directions, because it is like, okay, you do this, and it's just hard to remember because you're knitting and purling and then purling and knitting and like, but yeah, it worked fairly well. So maybe today I'll have time to get a few more presents done. We will see. I still haven't found a sled. The Hobby Lobby, they couldn't find one at our Hobby Lobby, and they're sold out online for at least the Hobby Lobby one. So I might be ordering one from 123 Stitch. They have some, but like, do I just buy one? Like, am I really just gonna put like a $5 order in? But I really don't need anything else, so I'm a little bit stuck on the sled for now, but I've got some time. So that is what I have. Okay, so I don't remember if I mentioned it or not in the video. I don't have a knitting clue today for the Imagined Landscapes knit along. So I can either keep working on my presents or do the thing that I'm probably going to do, which is completely squirrel into a new project that is Christmas related that you will hopefully be able to follow along with me on. So I got my like Christmas decorating all done yesterday. I wrapped it a little bit up this afternoon, and I will put some pictures at the end of the video in for you to see that like I promised. While we were unpacking yesterday, we noticed that our stockings are looking pretty bad. Mine is from when I was a baby. Used to have my name on it in like gold glitter puffy paint. That is gone. Actually, it might have even been like from before puffy paint. I don't know when puffy paint, like I remember it was popular like in the early 90s. Popular, was it ever popular? But it was a thing in the early 90s. So I think it might have even been just like craft glue with glitter sprinkled on it. But anyways, it's long gone. The tab that like holds it hanging, it's broken, it's tied, it's barely hanging on. It definitely doesn't hold any weight in it. So once my stocking gets loaded up, it can't hang anymore. And my husband's is just like a cheap red one from like Meijer, Walmart. My daughter has a nice big one that my mom quilted for her and then painted with glitter. She loves it because it's huge and it fits lots of things. So she doesn't really want to get rid of it, but she's getting older. And so I would really love to have matching stockings. Whether or not I get to the animals, that's a whole other thing. But anyways, so I've looked for a few years now for like matching stockings that were cute and that kind of matched our style. And I haven't found anything that I've loved, especially for the cost. So I've decided that I want to make my own. And so went down a bunny trail this morning, watching YouTube videos, doing some Google searches, and I found a conglomeration of things that I want to do. So I'm going to get, I think, Scandinavian fabric, but I have some candy packs of fabric that I like that match the table runner on our dining room table. So I can either use those or get more of like a Scandi charm pack. And so again, so like I'm gonna do 2.5 inch squares, however that happens. If I have to buy yardage or I have to, like if I can get charm packs or candy packs. And then I want to just quilt simple squares. I might do some like on an angle so that they're like diamond shaped. And so I'm going to piece and quilt those. I have a pattern that I found, a free PDF that I found online that you can print and then like put all the pieces of paper together. So you have a template to cut your stocking out. I'm going to do the method where you quilt like your stocking front, batting, and then a backing. And that's like your front panel, and then do the same on the back. I'm not going to piece the back. I'm just going to do a solid piece of fabric, batting, and a inside fabric, quilt those together, and then still put a lining in so that you don't have to turn your stocking inside out. So you sew your outside of your stocking together, right sides together, and turn it right side out. And then you make another liner that you sew wrong sides together so that is that right? So that you sew it so that the seams are on, however you do it right. So the right side is out and there's no seams. And then you like put them in together and you line up your top edge of your stocking. And then I'm going to sew a band. But my band, the most complicated part of all of this is that I want to cross stitch our names with a band. So I found the alphabet that I wanted to use. I pre-stitched an X, which is the letter that I picked that we need. And like kind of like, I didn't stitch the whole thing. I stitched like the bottom and like one up to the top so I could figure out like how wide and tall it was going to be. And so, but I was like struggling with like, how do I take the band that I'm going to cross stitch and like quilt, like piece it onto this band that I need for the stocking that like fold, the band that folds over. So I ended up like on a whim, not thinking that I would find anything, searching in YouTube for like a cross stitch stocking band, and lo and behold, Fat Quarter Shop, Kimberly Jolly has a tutorial. So they have a stocking pattern. The dimensions weren't quite right for me because I'm worried about how long my name is, because they just did like your monogram is what they had for their pattern, but they have a tutorial for how to take a cross stitch fabric band. So you use the size of the band is the size of the piece that you cut, And then she shows you how to figure out where the center of like your stitching area is, because you end up like sewing it. It's like a quarter, like you only end up seeing a quarter because you fold it in half for like the back of the band, right? And then you fold it in half because it goes all the way around the stocking, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can check out her video. It makes a lot of sense. So that made me feel more confident that I could find the middle of where I needed to stitch and then stitch. So I'm going to do that today, and then hopefully go to the fabric store tomorrow on my way home from work, unless I decide to just use the candy packs that I have, the 2.5 inch like quilt kit sets. But I just don't know if those are the colors that I'm going to want to use for these. So what I have to do today is hope that my wind stitch works on my laptop. It's just old and it doesn't run a lot of things. So I'm fingers crossed that I can use my wind stitch. So I want to take the alphabet that I picked from the Fruits of Plenty Sal and get my name on there. I should really do all 3 of ours because I need to know where the middle is, but my name is the biggest factor because I need to make sure that whatever stocking pattern I pick, I know the width of the band that I need, that my name will fit on it. So I have to know the width of my name so I know what size the finished band will be, so that I know what size band to cut. It's like a whole thing. And I'm really hoping that the PDF that I found for the stocking shape and band will be the right size, so I don't have to modify it, because it gets a little wonky when you have to add. I mean, I could do it, I can map it all out, but it would be nice if it just worked and I wouldn't have to worry about all of that, like re-measuring and adding seam allowance to like retrofit the pattern to me. So it's what I need. So that is what I'm going to do today. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I have a lot of new subscribers. So if you're new here, hello, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back and spending time with me. And I hope you have a great Sunday. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, and I'll throw in some quick Christmas decorating videos at the end here. So talk to you tomorrow. Bye.